choosing to live alcohol-free as fuck, that was an upper limit problem for me. I wasn't comfortable enough, vulnerable enough, or courageous enough to imagine a life without alcohol. And I imagine some of you feel the same way. I told myself that life without alcohol would be miserable. What's the point? What would I do socially? Who would I speak to? Right? Friends would reject me. Friends would ridicule me. I would feel shame and guilt. I'd never have fun again. But as I exposed myself to this new experience, being alcohol-free as fuck, as I leaned into the discomfort, as I met parts of me that were afraid, communicated with them, showed them a bit of love, something slowly started to shift. And I started to separate my choices from other people's reactions. Recording in progress. Imagine this. You're about to make a big move. Launch a new project, start a conversation, take a leap into something that is unfamiliar. But just as you're about to step forward, something pulls you back. Doubt creeps in. What if I get it wrong? What if people laugh? What if it all falls apart? Sound familiar? Well, this is an upper limit problem at work, an invisible ceiling keeping you from stepping into your full potential. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 1000 Days Sober podcast. My name is Lee Davey. I am not an alcoholic. I refuse to be anonymous. I am someone who lives a self-led life, alcohol-free as fuck, and I spend every single moment of that life helping other people do the same. Like right now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 1000 Days Sober Dailies, a little daily dose of love from myself designed to help you improve and grow and develop your knowledge around the liquid lie, alcohol reliance, so you today can make a decision, a healthy choice coming from self to not drink alcohol. And you can do it. And I have this client, obviously I'm going to keep him anonymous, who struggles with this exact issue we're talking about. He's a writer, right? In his heart. He doesn't do that as his job, but in his heart. But he's been avoiding writing for years, afraid that it's not good enough or he's not good enough. He wanted to start a poker game with his friends, but he was really hesitant because he was worried that people wouldn't show up. And when he's out in public, he doesn't really like to go out of his comfort zone and speak to people because he fears that he might get it wrong. So what is actually happening here? Well, Gay Hendricks, beautiful human being who has been a guest on this very podcast, he wrote a great book called The Big Leap. And in that book, The Big Leap, he explains the concept of upper limit problems, self-imposed barriers that kick in when we approach the edge of our personal growth. This is when the unconscious mind says, you're not supposed to be this successful dude. You're not meant to have all this happiness. If you go too far, you're going to screw it up. You're going to lose it all. Another incredible person in the personal development space is Brené Brown. And she calls this type of behavior foreboding joy, right? Foreboding joy. And this is the fear that if we embrace happiness too fully, it will be taken away from us. So we retreat, we self-sabotage, we stay small, convincing ourselves that avoiding the risk is the same as staying safe. But the truth is not. Avoiding risk is just avoiding life. And I'm going to take a short break. But before I do, please press pause on this video or this audio and ask yourself, where in life are you holding yourself back? Not because you're afraid of failure, but because you're afraid of success. Welcome back. So how do we break through our upper limit problems? Number one, identify and acknowledge that you have them. Honestly, use this as the catalyst to start questioning. If you do journaling, great, to ask yourself, where do I have upper limit problems? Pay attention to where you're resisting growth. Do you downplay your achievements? Do you procrastinate on things you care about? Because recognizing these moments is the first step. And the way that I do this is I kind of look at my life like a wheel of life, right? I have upper limit problems in parenting as a dad. I have upper limit problems in my sex and intimacy life, right? I have upper limit problems when it comes to finances and the way that I think about it. I have upper limit problems in my health and well-being, upper limit problems as a business leader and entrepreneur, upper limit problems as a coach, upper limit problems as a brother, as a husband, as a business associate, right? So have a look in your life and ask yourself, where have I got these upper limit problems? Identify them, acknowledge them, get to know them, right? Number two, from the streets of internal family systems, a really important form of psychotherapy that we use in the Strive method that comes from the great mind of Dr. Richard Schwartz, when he talks about having a self, living a self-led life, that beautiful, perfectly imperfect part of you that just knows all the answers, is just has access to those 8 C's of self, the compassion, the curiosity, the clarity, the creativeness, the courage, the connection, the compassion, that part of you, right? And then you have like the ego or the parts of your personality that are often linked to trauma or automatic behaviors, inner child, wounds, right? These are the parts that really want to keep you small. These are the parts actually that come up against these upper limit problems and take action to prevent you going forward, right? So you've got to meet these parts of your personality with curiosity, right? They genuinely believe that staying small is the safest option, right? So instead of pushing away from them and trying to banish them, get curious, talk to yourself, right? Ask yourself, what are you afraid of? What are you protecting me from? Embarrassment, rejection, disappointment? Where is that coming from? Through the lens of curiosity, you get to know yourself and your parts a little bit better. Okay. Number three, release the need to be right. A lot of upper limit problems come from perfectionism, right? If we think we're not 100% sure of success, we won't even try, right? But life isn't about certainty. It's about courage. Okay. Courage to know that I'm going to put myself out there and I might not like the result that comes back to me, but through exposure therapy, actually through doing it, realizing that actually a lot of the times it really works out and I actually enjoy success. And the times it doesn't work out, it feels a bit painful and I can handle it. Number four, address underlying fears. Fear is not the enemy, right? It's a signpost. What is the deeper belief behind your upper limit problem? Maybe you grew up believing that successful people are arrogant. Maybe, like me, you grew up thinking that middle class and upper class people and wealth and finances was something a little bit icky. Maybe a past failure convinced you that risks aren't worth taking. Digging into these fears really helps to loosen the grip of them. And number five, be open to positive energy. You wouldn't believe how difficult it is for people to celebrate themselves. In the Strive method, we have a quest called Winner Winner Chicken Dinner, where I challenge people every day to record at the end of the day 5 wins that they had that day so they can embody what it feels like to be a winner. And this client I'm talking about right now, for example, found that really difficult in the beginning, found it really difficult because he isn't used to celebrating his successes. He isn't used to patting himself on the back. He isn't used to giving himself love. And because of that, his parts run amok and keep him safe by keeping him small. So if something great happens, don't brace for disaster. Let yourself open up, right? Let yourself feel joy without turning it into anxiety. You don't have to earn happiness. You just have to allow it to flow through that mind, body, and soul of yours, right? For me, refusing to live alcohol-free as fuck, that was an upper limit problem for me. I wasn't comfortable enough, vulnerable enough, or courageous enough to imagine a life without alcohol. And I imagine some of you feel the same way. I told myself that life without alcohol would be miserable. What's the point? What would I do socially? Who would I speak to? Right? Friends would reject me. Friends would ridicule me. I would feel shame and guilt. I'd never have fun again. But as I exposed myself to this new experience of being alcohol free as fuck, as I leaned into the discomfort, as I met parts of me that were afraid, communicated with them, showed them a bit of love, something slowly started to shift. And I started to separate my choices from other people's reactions. Really important, right? My choices and their reactions are very different. If I choose to put myself out there, show them my writing, to show you this podcast, and you think it's a pile of pants, I need to be happy in the sense that I put it out there and I was brave enough to do that, irrespective of what you think of me, right? Really important. So in doing so, all of this, I really expanded my capacity for real freedom. And right now, I'm happily going to report that my client is going through the same process. His parts are really learning that he can take risks, he can celebrate success, and when things don't go to plan, he can handle it. Really important. Right, today's vow. I will not drink alcohol today. I will recognize my upper limit problems, listen to the part of me that fears success, and take action anyway. A self-led life, alcohol-free as fuck, isn't about giving up alcohol. It's about giving up on the limits we impose on ourselves. The ones that tell us we can't go further, we don't deserve more, and that we'll lose everything if we try. None of it is true. Okay, that's all I have time for today. If this message hit home, please rate and review the podcast. It helps other people find it. Subscribe so you don't miss every single episode. We're coming at you every single day with these things. And if you're ready to break through your own upper limit problems and feel the full joy and joie de vivre and the cherry on top of being alcohol free as fuck, try week 1 of the stuck phase of our Strive method for absolutely free. This is where we really open and blow your mind, where you can learn more about why you're stuck in alcohol reliance without having to stop drinking alcohol. Very important. We don't want you to do that. We just want you to wrap your head around what the hell is going on, right? To grow a greater awareness and wisdom around it. Email me at thestrivemethod@gmail.com and I'll give you more instructions on how to join that. Until tomorrow, much love and strive on, ladies and gentlemen.